Welcome to First Unitarian's online service. We are so happy that you are here with us today. Here at First Unitarian, our mission is through spiritual connection and community. We listen deeply to others and ourselves. We open to wonder and transformation, and we serve with love and humility. I'm Shannon Foos, membership coordinator, and leading worship today, we have Reverend Sherry Halliday Kwan, Reverend Margalie Belazaire, Tommy Snell, Sheila Shu, and Carol Ann Cleary. We also have our usual hospitality folks making sure things are safe and come together. We also have a chat chaplain on hand, so if you're going through a tough time or are worried about someone else, please feel free to reach out to them. Now here's Reverend Sherry to talk about our very special service today.
Today's a very special day here at First Unitarian Rochester. One, we welcome members and guests from Decatur. We're so excited that you're joining us. Today is also our first in-person outdoor worship as well as an online worship. We're so glad that you're joining us online and know that you're a part of a community that moves in different states and places as well as around our outdoor space here at 220 Winton. We celebrate flower ceremony or flower communion today. It's an annual ritual in which we take up an almost 100-year-old ceremony in Unitarianism, where we bring together different flowers, different pieces of the truth and our religious pluralism to celebrate our own community and that we bless each other with our presence. Thank you for helping create this space.
I have a few announcements for today. First is that next Sunday we are having our annual congregational meeting in which we make decisions about the budget and our church, so please remember to stay for that after service. Today, as usual, we have our conversation and connection hour, so also stay and connect with your fellow UUs and newcomers. A special announcement I have is that next Saturday at 2 o'clock, we will be having a special workshop on creating LGBTQIA+ inclusive spaces. Please see your newsletter and the chat for more information. Now, let's all take a deep breath and join me in lighting your chalice and saying our chalice lighting words together. May the flame we now kindle inspire us to use our power to heal with love, to help with compassion, to bless with joy, and to seek liberation in the fullness of community.
I invite you now into the spiritual practice of music making. Please join me in voice, body, and spirit as we sing a few hymns together. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land.
Long ago in China, there lived a poor widow and her only daughter. Life was very hard for them, and they had little to eat. One day, the widow gave in to despair. "Dear Pear Blossom," she sobbed, "we are lost. We have almost no food and no more money. What shall become of us?" Pear Blossom knelt before her mother. "Don't worry. I will travel to see your wealthy brother in the city. Surely he will help his only sister and her child." The mother shook her head. "No, child. The way to the city is filled with danger." But Pear Blossom was determined. "Honorable mother, I will be swift and careful. I will be home before the roses have wilted, and we will be saved." Her mother could think of no other way to help them, and so, sadly, she sent Pear Blossom on her way to the great city. After many hours, Pear Blossom came upon a garden more beautiful than any she had ever seen. Behind the garden walls, she saw 3 sisters wearing pretty clothes and playing happily amid a sea of red poppies. Suddenly, one of the girls spotted a butterfly. "Look!" she cried, and the sisters began to chase it. It fluttered this way and that, trying to escape their grasp. Pear Blossom darted into the garden, catching the poor creature in her cupped hands. "Give it to us," the sisters demanded. "It's our garden." Pear Blossom shook her head. "The butterfly must fly free," she said as she let it go, fanning the warm air to help the creature fly away more quickly. The girls were furious. "Out of our garden, beggar!" they cried. "I am not a beggar," Pear Blossom said. "I am on my way to the home of my rich uncle who lives in the city." The girls only laughed. "You cannot go to the city. The golden dragon who lives on the mountain outside the city will gobble you up when you try to pass his cave. He breathes fire and smoke and allows no one to pass his cave." Giggling, the girls ran back into their house. Pear Blossom wondered what to do. Suddenly, Butterfly Fairy appeared. "Don't fear, Pear Blossom," the fairy said. "You saved my life, and I will save yours. I know how to soothe the dragon. His hot breath has burned the earth near his cave, and flowers do not grow there, but the golden dragon loves flowers. Take this bouquet to him and ask for his kindness." She handed Pear Blossom a bouquet of fragrant flowers. Pear Blossom thanked the fairy and walked on. Before long, she came to the foot of the mountain. She could hear the dragon's roar and trembled as she climbed closer. When she reached the top, the dragon rushed from his cave. "Who goes there?" he roared. "Honorable dragon," Pear Blossom said, "I have brought you flowers." She handed him the bouquet. "You are very fierce," she said softly, "but I want you to promise me that you will never scare anyone again. If you stop roaring, your flowers will grow." The dragon lowered his head and sniffed the bouquet. He was so moved by the gift that he promised he would be kinder. "Thank you, dragon," she said, "and now I will be on my way." "Wait," the dragon said, and he went back into his cave. He returned carrying 3 golden necklaces sparkling with jewels. "You are the first person who has ever been kind enough to give me a gift. I give you these in gratitude." Pear Blossom thanked the dragon and walked on. When she arrived at her Uncle Ming's house, she bowed before him. "Honorable uncle, my poor mother, your sister, has no money to pay for food. We are starving. Won't you help us?" "Do you think I am made of money?" he cried. "Honorable uncle, I have traveled far to see you. I came past the cave of the golden dragon. Look, the dragon gave these to me because I gave him flowers." And she showed him her necklaces. When Ming saw these, he grabbed some flowers from a vase and set off without saying another word to Pear Blossom. He ran as fast as he was able, but that wasn't very fast. At last he came to the dragon's cave, huffing and puffing. "Dragon," he panted, "I have brought you flowers, and now I want you to give me jewels." But the flowers Ming handed to the dragon were wilted. The dragon roared with fury and chased him all the way down the mountain. Meanwhile, news of Pear Blossom's necklaces had reached the Empress of China. She sent for the child, and when she saw the necklaces, she gasped with admiration. "Honorable Empress, allow me to give these to you," Pear Blossom said. "I have no need for precious jewels. Please accept them as a gift from me and my poor mother." When the Empress heard the story of Pear Blossom's journey and the way she had calmed the golden dragon, she invited her and her mother to live in luxury in her court, and so they did. The golden dragon remained in his cave, but he was peaceful, for every day Butterfly Fairy and Pear Blossom visited him, and before long his land grew thick with flowers.
I invite you now in the spiritual practice of generosity. Each week, we take up an offering that we split between our church and an organization in the wider community that leads us in the work of justice and compassion. This week, we will share our plate with the Friends of Ganondagan. The Friends of Ganondagan support and help tell stories and the culture, values, and contemporary lives of the Seneca and Haudenosaunee peoples. There are a number of ways to give, including Venmo, Simple Church, or you can send us a check. Please give as generously as you are able. Thank you.
get comfortable. Close your eyes or keep them at a soft gaze as you are willing and able. Notice the sounds around you. What do you hear? Are you getting a combination of near and far away sounds? Really listen. See how far you can reach to hear. Stretch a little bit further to hear the sounds all the way in the background. Do you hear a car horn? An airplane overhead? What are the faint noises? Now, come a little closer. A little bit closer. What do you hear now? Do you hear the wind blowing? Do you hear a dog barking? Maybe birds flying overhead. What do you hear? Come closer. Come even closer still. Start to feel the air around you. Feel the air as it hits your skin. Notice how your clothes feels against your body. When we intentionally focus, we can hear all the little background noises that happens in everyday life that go unnoticed. Come even closer and listen to the sound of your breath. Feel the ebb and flow of it. And as you inhale, feel the cold air flow through your nose. And when you exhale, feel the warm air come out of your nose. Keep listening for the everyday comforts of life, the familiar sounds in your everyday. Listen closer. Can you hear the beating of your heart? Can you hear how your body is taking care of you? How it gives you health. It gives you life. Your body is magnificent. It quietly does its work every day, and it goes unnoticed. Take a moment and listen to the story your body is telling you right now. Take a moment and listen. Know that you can return here anytime to your breath when you need a break. May you remember to do so.
Almost 100 years ago, Unitarian minister Norbert Čapek in Czechoslovakia brought a new ritual to his congregation. His gathered people of liberal religion wanted a ceremony to recognize the hope and possibility and potential that was latent in their community. What brought them together again and again? Many of them had grown up with a ritual of a bread and wine communion, but that didn't seem to fit them, all of them, right at that moment. Czechoslovakia had recently been through a war, a time of great social anxiety, and yet their church was a place of hope for them, and they were glad that they came together, even if none of them knew everything about everything. They were glad they came together even when they disagreed and when the diversity was not just about the backgrounds and experiences they brought, but also their values, what mattered most to them. No one had a monopoly on the truth. So Čapek invited his congregation to go out and seek beauty in the world. People brought flowers from their yards, from the fields that they passed on the way to church, or clipped from right outside the church. People brought flowers that were purple and white and orange and yellow. People brought flowers that were small, flowers that were big, flowers that smelled fragrant, and flowers that smelled like nothing at all. And together, coming from different beliefs and values, they created a beautiful bouquet.
We are spiritual beings on a human journey.
The sacred happens when we can truly connect with one another.
The unending power of love.
All of us need all of us to make it.
All Black Lives Matter.
As we continue to add flowers, name a truth that you bring into this community, into the chat or out loud. Having made a bouquet of theological diversity, a gathering of all of these hearts and minds of people, Čapek then invited them not only to behold the beauty of their gathering and the diversity within, but also to know that by putting their flower into the vase, into our shared vessel, that was a commitment each of us were making in free religion. The idea that one could willingly come to be in the company of other people, people who were different than them, was a very practice of religious discipline. And through the beauty of those gathered, each of us could choose to be blessed by another. And so Čapek invited each of his congregation, and I invite each of you now to take a flower, one that is different than the one that you put in, and know that you are blessed by the beauty and truth of another.
Please join me now in saying our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.